Hi, welcome to my channel. This is a board I put together of every single piece of marketing that is out so far for the new upcoming Oswald Perkins movie, Longlegs. For a little bit of background, Oswald Perkins is one of my favorite horror directors. You might recognize his last name as he is the son of Anthony Perkins from Psycho. His movies include I Am the Pretty Thing That Lives in the House, The Black Coat's Daughter, starring Emma Roberts and Karen Shipka, Gretel and Hansel, then this. So where do I start? So to start off, the very first piece of marketing that we ever got was Every Year There Is Another. Now this was a video. Neon is the studio that is distributing Longlegs. So on Neon's YouTube channel, they published a video titled Every Year There Is Another. In it, it features this seemingly old family photograph of parents and their daughter. It seems to be that they're in like the 80s, based off of the scrunchies, and just the style of the clothing as well as the coloration of the picture. Over top of this, as the shot slowly zooms in on the daughter's face, we get glimpses of strange symbols that I'm going to get into later. Overlaid on top of this is a 911 call, presumably made by the father. The operator says, 911, what's your emergency? Father says, it's my daughter. Operator says, sir, are you still there? He says, that's not my daughter. Then it hard cuts to this image, something being censored in this area. After that, we get this. We don't have a title, we don't have a release date, but we do have this cipher. So the first video was published on January 5th. About a week or so later, they published the video, Remember to Say Your Prayers. In this, two investigators are in, like, barn, we presume, using a crowbar to pry up the floorboards and revealing a box. Over top of this is another phone call. Not a 911 call. Are you still saying your prayers? Our prayers protect us from the devil. Intercut with prying open are several crime scene photographs. Initially, before they pry up the floorboards, there seems to be a cross that is nailed to the floor. So the first picture we get a flash of is this one, labeled 38. A figure inside of a tub covered in plastic. After that, we see a glimpse of a knife labeled C9. I don't know how elements of a crime scene are labeled. All of the little tents in each of the images are in completely different styles. So it might be these are all in different areas, separate police forces that are investigating these crime scenes that end up having a connection. Then we get this image, what seems to be 3 bodies, 2 here, and then another here. So there's a shotgun, and then 2 shotgun casings, all which are labeled 1, 2, 3. Finally, we have this image, which is not a crime scene. It is a happy birthday sign. This happy birthday sign we see in Every Year There Is Another. I'm just gonna call another, and then the one with the crime scene photos, I'm just gonna call prayers. We go back to investigators prying open to reveal a box, lift up the lid, and right before we can see what it is, cut to this. I brightened this image. You can very faintly see eyes peering out through it. This is where we're actually able to decipher what these symbols mean. This first one in Another is Longlegs. In Prayers, and this spells out Hail Satan. After that, we have We've Been Waiting for Her, which I'm gonna call Waiting. In this, another scene from the movie. However, this scene is in 4:3, as well as the covered figure. And the pictures. This one is of a priest coming into a person's home with a man in like a flannel. What's important to note here, the shot is framed through a door. The priest looks out to the door directly into the lens of the camera. We could be in a perspective shot. The man in the flannel attacks the priest with an axe. So within all of this, we see glimpses of these words. Now deciphered, they spell out stood upon the sand of the sea. This is a Bible quote, Revelation 13:1. And I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. Now, there's a lot of religious imagery that we're being presented with here. First of all, with Hail Satan. Second of all, with this Bible quote. However, I don't think that's going to be it, and I'll get to that in a minute. After waiting, the first 4 posters were revealed, each of which had their own captions. This winter scene, the birthday girl, 8 years old. Police report, January 13th, 1974. So lucky to celebrate. This poster of the bodies under a blanket, the Horn family. Former family of 4, mother got it worst, father said she needed it most. No signs of forced entry. November 14th, 1992. These legs are the same legs we see in the Every Year There Is Another video. So this is definitely the same crime scene as this. Horn family murder happened in 1992. And since Every Year There Is Another, between 1974 and 1992, that's so many murders. This poster, Mrs. Camera, Mother, Father, Priest, Axe, 1975. It was a good day for a good girl to be at school. Now, this poster, what looks to be a nun. Door to door, there she goes. Where she stops, nobody knows, except for him. He knows. This is the only one that does not have a date attached to it. Posters were released on January 30th. On February the 2nd, theatrical trailer for it. So there was a trailer that was released in theaters that was never posted online. And still, even then, when it was posted on the Neon YouTube account, it was not listed as Longlegs 2024 official trailer. This one was, you've got the teeth of the Hydra upon you. So in this one, a lot more imagery, like a lot more imagery. Start off Michael Monroe in front of a board like this one, primarily analyzing all of the symbols that we've been seeing throughout these videos. After that, a shot of what looks to be a very old car, and then a shot from within, a little girl looking out through the window. Then we have what we assume to be Michael Monroe's character opening up a book entitled A Guide to the 9 Circles of Hell. Also on the desk is a book entitled The Dark Lord's Hand. These are both fictional books. These aren't available to buy or read anywhere. We see a sliding barn door. The sliding barn door shot, the colors of the flashlights are the same color as the flashlights in the prayers video when they're uncovering the floorboards. After that, we go back to the desk, drawing a triangle connecting several different symbols together. After she's drawing, we see seemingly ceramic hand holding a metallic globe. If we zoom in, we might be able to see some sort of face in the reflection of the globe. Probably in that same room, person with long hair working on something. On his right, small torso, probably made out of the same material as the hand. This is Nicolas Cage's character. Nicolas Cage is listed as Longlegs. Mike Monroe is credited as Detective Parker. Whatever those like domed mirrors that you see in stores or parking lots, reflecting a walking figure in what appears to be a craft store. That same person places down a set of items in front of the cashier. We get a sort of semi-jump scare of a woman being attacked from behind with an axe. If we stay still on this, you can see that this is the same exact room as when the man was attacking the priest. If you also freeze frame on her face based off of the shape of the face and the way that her hair is, it is possible that this is the same woman in this poster. So this I'm going to refer to as Mrs. Camera. I'm going to refer to the man attacking her as Mr. Camera. Detective Harker lunges back after seeing some sort of item in a box. A man placing down some sort of dark fabric. A very faint glimpse of what Nicolas Cage's character is going to look like. In the very slight glimpse that we see of his face, his skin is incredibly pale, like almost completely white. I'm not sure if this is some sort of makeup, if the character has albinism, it's unclear. We see him slamming his head into a table, some sort of like red liquid that bubbles into a sort of blackish purple. I don't have the slightest clue what that could be. And then we go back to this shot of the hooded figure. Parker in a car, probably, I'm thinking, the same car as from this initial shot. She's driving and screaming, and match cuts Longlegs screaming as well. The nun from this poster firing a shotgun into someone inside the car, then a man with an axe falling over in a field with a lot of dead animals all around him. I'm thinking that this is the same man that attacks a priest. Longlegs making this strange sort of like fanning motion with his hands over his face. The nun putting her face into her hands as if crying. The little girl with braids closing a door. I'm guessing that this is not the same little girl that was looking out of the snowy window in opening. The big distinction is gonna be the hair. Final shot, this one, I believe was the very first bit of promotional material that we ever got, ended up being on the first unofficial poster. Longlegs attacking some sort of unknown figure. The title card with the symbols morphing into the letters for Longlegs. We hear this sort of strange, almost otherworldly voice, but not otherworldly as in deep, otherworldly as in like high and whining. And it's completely unclear what the voice is saying. After you've got the teeth of the Hydra, we get nothing for about a month. So Hydra was released on February 2nd. On April 17th, we get a video entitled Sweet Part 2. The caption, ever since she was a little girl, she wanted to catch a killer. Guessing that is referring to Parker. The first line is the same line that was in the prayers video.
Do you still say your prayers?
And then we once again get this shot of the nun. Then there's a paragraph that begins to scroll up. The paragraph reads, so close the crimson and clover, all gone now to the edge, where the black begins, the long forked tongue hisses. I looked that up. It is completely original. It is not a reference to anything. An exterior shot of the barn. We get a shot from this scene of Mr. Camera attacking the priest and then attacking Mrs. Camera. However, the shot is flipped. After that, we see that girl from earlier with the braids sitting at the edge of her bed with a shadowy figure behind her. I brightened it here, and you can see two horns coming out of the head of the shadowy figure. We get a glimpse of probably Harker sitting at some sort of like debriefing, watching a projection of some sort of video. The projector is shooting in 4:3, which is the same aspect ratio as some of these shots. Some scenes take place in 4:3 and some are in CinemaScope. We get a scene, a woman wearing only a bra and probably sweatpants, plunging a knife into a child. Parker in the car, still screaming. We get that shot again of the bubbling red liquid figure in an orange hoodie in a winter landscape. This same figure we see in this poster, the birthday girl. We see Harker staring at herself in a bathroom. She actually has an answer to, do you still say your prayers?
I never said my prayers, never once. They scared me.
Cuts to a title card, Daughter of the Seventh She, a little flash of a cipher, and then the release date, July 12th. Spells out to Hell Awaits. That video was seemed to be focused around Harker, and then a week later, on April 24th, they released Dirty Part 2. The caption for this one, first, it was too many voices. They couldn't be understood. But then they started to settle. Starts off looking through a window, and then a young girl looking around. We hear very heavy breathing. Looks to be a snake. Once again, we get that scrolling paragraph. Listen loud the serpents, see the darkness slithering. Tell me what good is that body, if not for hiding red shiny parts. First shot we get is this ceramic face, an FBI debriefing, watching possibly a videotape or a broadcast on a CRT television. Man in all white, some sort of strange motion over his face. The shot's out of focus, so the same desk that Harker was using to draw the triangle, holding a card with the cipher on it. Most likely Mr. Camera holding a shotgun. Actually, no, it couldn't be Mr. Camera because Mr. Camera had an axe. So maybe this is the Horn family. Right, so after this we have an FBI agent uncovering some sort of like bed sheet, a tracking shot of Harker in building that's probably been condemned. See a lot of like plastic tarps hanging from the ceiling. Cat in a carrier, red liquid coming out of a drain. Harker standing at a window covering her mouth in shock. A perspective shot, possibly this little girl sitting in front of a mirror. Longlegs presumably leans in, but it cuts to the title card before we can see his face. On top of this, we have heard Longlegs' voice. He says cuckoo a bunch of times, and then it gets to the shot of the child in the mirror. It says, "Oh, there she is." Then after that, we get the title card, The Man Downstairs. Cipher for this one is Behold Hanbi. So that is basically just a rundown of everything we have so far. Now this is going to get into theory territory. I wanted to make this video because no one else has, seemingly. The only video I've seen of this is a video entitled Longlegs, entire plot with twist revealed. And like, that's no fun. Oh, right, I didn't even get to the birthday card. The birthday card. Okay, so the birthday card. All right, so on May 2nd, like some sort of film reviewer got a birthday card in the mail with the number 9 on it and this cipher. And it reads, "Hell is not much darker than where you are going. You'll be there, the voices demand it. Accept the gift, destroy it, let him in, and destroy yourself." Revelation 13:1. Stood upon the sand of the sea, saw a beast having 7 heads. This probably unofficial poster was made by a creator that does a lot of horror art. As you can see, it's pretty much symmetrical with these like dragon heads. However, in Revelation 13:1, it says it has 7 heads. I'm thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Longlegs is the 7th head. The camera killings. Mother, father, priest. It specifies the daughter was not present at the time of the murders. However, when Mrs. Camera is killed, she is again looking directly into the camera. So again, this is a point of view shot. Whose point of view are we seeing this from? Even when you like line it up, the shot matches perfectly. I'm thinking the killing of the priest, Mrs. Camera, Mr. Camera, is all going to be one long unbroken shot based off of face shape, hair. Mrs. Camera is this woman plunging the knife into the child. However, if you look at the image very closely, you can see a line going all the way across the underside of the chin. Why would it have that? Because this child isn't real. It's a doll. You know how I know that? Because we see the doll being made. This is the face of that doll. This is the hand, and this is the torso. For whatever reason, a doll was introduced to this family, and then these murders occurred. I'm guessing that this is the birthday girl's present. Thing is, we might be able to presume that neither the mother nor the father brought this doll into the house. So it was probably Longlegs who brought it in. He appears to be some sort of doll maker. The doll seems to have been in the house for a very long time. If January 13th was the date where the doll was introduced into the house, it had to be in there for at least 11 months in order for the camera murders to occur in 1975. Also, another trailer that is only in theaters that has not been released anywhere else. In this, we can see this girl uncover black fabric. I'm guessing that this black fabric is the one being used to cover this up. So this is the shot of the doll. In this shot of the doll face, it's hollow. Maybe it's hollow because something is supposed to be inside it, like it's a vessel for something. So the dolls get introduced to the families and it influences things. It causes people to murder each other or something. So throughout all of this, every single piece of promotional material that has Longlegs in it has made a point to hide his face. We see the faces of the Camera family, the Horn family, Harker. We're never given a good look at Longlegs' face. Why? Several times we see this shot of Longlegs attacking someone. However, if he's the one making the dolls that are causing people to kill each other, why is he going out and murdering people himself? Why is he killing some and letting others kill each other? On this poster, door to door, there she goes. Where she stops, nobody knows except for him. He knows. Who is he? Maybe it's Longlegs. Maybe she is under his control. I'm not sure. Whose white baby is this? So in the shot where Harker is like at the conspiracy board and has all the symbols on it, I tried translating all of the symbols as well as the symbols that are on the card on our desk. They don't make any words. In the Dirty Part 2 teaser, we get the caption, "Behold Hanbi." Hanbi, an ancient Mesopotamian god of evil, seen as dead because something or someone killed him. That is all we know about this god. So much historical information has been completely lost. I'm gonna guess this is on purpose. A god of evil that we know nothing about. The paragraphs in the Sweet and Dirty teasers, we have references to snakes in both. The long forked tongue, listen loud the serpents, darkness slithering, this satanic Christian imagery. Maybe this could be a reference to the snake in the Garden of Eden. If so, who will be tempted? Maybe in this shot of the hand holding the globe, that is supposed to represent the apple, the forbidden fruit. Oh, on the birthday card, the number 9. Maybe 9 is the age that the doll is supposed to be. So this shot of Longlegs putting the black fabric over the doll. Following this, oh, there she is, she meaning the doll. Longlegs puts the black fabric over the doll, gives it to the Camera family. Little girl Camera uncovers it for her birthday on January 13th, 1974. The doll is in the house for an extended period of time, and at some unspecified point in 1975, the murders occur. We see this shot of Mrs. Camera, like, dragging a knife across her stomach, but not puncturing. She also has her like mouth agape. On the shot of the nun, it's hard to see on the poster, but on this shot where she has her head in her hands, you can see some sort of like weird texture on the back of her hands. It's too textured to just be a simple staining. It looks like the skin of the back of the hands has come off for whatever reason. Another question is, why does Harker specify that her prayers scared her? Perhaps it could be a thing of the power of the prayers scared her. Maybe it was that she was afraid of God. Maybe the like red and black liquid that we see bubbling up is what is inside the dolls? I don't know. Actually, the Horn family and the Camera family, both references to birthdays. So every single doll is a birthday gift, but just to a different family. Yeah, that's about it. Thank you very much for watching. Go see Longlegs on July 12th. People are saying that it's the best horror movie of 2024, so I'm very excited. I've been following Oz Perkins's career for a while now. His directorial debut, I Am the Pretty Thing That Lives in the House, is like on my top 4 on Letterboxd. So yeah.